Alright, what up, y'all? This is Budget Ball and FanDuel advice. I starting this because I've been searching around trying to find early FanDuel advice. I like making lineups like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Increase the odds of somebody just giving up on their team, injury coming out, and then there's a couple teams wasted in the whole tournament. So starting off early, all this can change doing it this early, but basically I'm going to go through all the positions, try and do this for you every week. Starting off with quarterback. So I have a clear number one that I'm going with in all of my 50-50s basically. But I'm just going to go down through the price. So if you're doing Thursday, you got Mahomes at 8,900 against Denver. You can't really go wrong with Mahomes. Just that price tag, but it's really not that much compared to some of the others that I would choose. I put him in one of my Thursday lineups. Next down, the good options, you got Breeze. Breeze has just been unstoppable this year. I don't think you can go wrong with him any week. He's playing at New York Giants, and so they're not that great of a defense. Also have some offensive weapons that it could turn into a shootout if the Saints D, plays like they've been playing. But now the main guy I'm throwing in all my lineups is Matt Ryan at 8,100. Going to be playing at home in the Dome against Cincinnati. Two epic offenses battling it out. I think this is going to be the shootout of the week. Denver, Kansas City could turn into that, but that's also what day is that game on anyway? Is that the Sunday night game? Or the Monday? But anyway, it's not in the main Sunday FanDuel lineup. So I'm throwing Matt Ryan in all my 50-50s. I think he's guaranteed to get you the points. In tournaments, I'll switch it up a few times, but 50-50. Last week I went Breeze in all 50-50, and I didn't do so hot with some of my other picks, but I won the majority of my 50-50s just having Breeze and Kamara. So yeah, quarterback, I try and guarantee myself those points. But if you're trying to scroll down a bit, save some money, you need to pick, if you feel really good about some wide receivers, running back. We got Deshaun Watson at 7,600. He's just been getting better each week. He's got that floor with his legs. He had a down week 1 against New England, where he only got 12 points, but past 2 weeks he's gotten 24 and 26. So I think his floor is fairly safe. He's also playing Indy, so that should be a game where he can gain some points. Going down a bit further, we have Andy Dalton, who's also the other side of that shootout. Now, definitely more risky, especially with AJ Green possibly out, but that Atlanta defense is just horrible. He'll be playing in a dome, in Atlanta, and that just has shootout written all over it. So, I can't fault you if you go Dalton. I actually, when I get to it, have quite a few Cincinnati players out. We'll get to that, but yeah, so I do think their offense is going to score. Andy Dalton should score as well. If you're really looking to save money, which I wouldn't suggest, but I just like having my quarterback in there that I know is going to put up the numbers. But Baker Mayfield against Oakland, He just played awesome when he came in. I was watching that game, and, it was clear he won the starting job as soon as he came in. The whole offense looked better. They're just going to be a better team going forward. And so, if you're really looking to save money, throw him in. I think he'll get you the points you need, especially with saving you what he's at 6,900, so 1,200 from Matt Ryan. I don't think it's worth it, but if you need that extra money, that's an option. Alright, this being my first video, I'm seeing it's taking a little bit longer than I expected, so I'm going to speed this up. Where we got running backs, my top, I like quarterback running backs, ideally, to be solid. And then take some shooters with wide receivers, because they're more variancy. I mean, the top guys are the top guys anywhere, but let's see. So, Kamara, 9,100. Melvin Gordon at 8,700. And Gio Bernard at 6,400. Now, obviously, Gio Bernard is dependent on if Mixon plays or not. I don't imagine him playing this quick, but there's been rumors that maybe he could, in which case, switch it to Gio Bernard, or if you need to stay in the same price range, right under that, you have Chris Carson. He's also 6,400, playing Arizona. Gio Bernard is up against Atlanta, pass-catching receivers, just go back and look at them. Christian McCaffrey, Alvin Kamara with his 20 targets. Like, Atlanta just gives it up to running backs that can catch. Melvin Gordon is playing San Francisco. Just, they're going to dominate that game. He's just going to run all over San Francisco. They give up passes to the running backs as well. And, I imagine the Chargers taking the lead and just running them down. Alvin Kamara, you just, until Ingram comes back, Alvin Kamara is every week lineup guy. He, especially 50-50, he's going to get you the points guaranteed. He's worth the price tag because you don't need to question anything. He's going to be there. Now, if you're trying to save money, so if you're playing the Thursday night game, we got Jarvis Allen at Pittsburgh. He's going to be getting receptions. They're going to need to throw the ball to keep up with Pittsburgh's offense, and so I imagine a lot of catches. And then down at $5,000, Nyheim Hines, who he just had a solid game. For the price, there isn't really another guy that you can guarantee is going to get you something. It's not going to be great, but he'll get you, 7-8 points, maybe more. He just gets receptions. They're playing against Houston. Houston's offense has been doing better. So, they could find themselves behind and need to throw. So, for me, I am going Kamara, Gordon, Bernard in all of my 50-50 lineups. That's just where I'm at. So, next, going to the wide receivers. There's a lot of value down low. So you got Michael Thomas, similar to Kamara. If you can get him in your lineup, a couple weeks ago, or last week it was, Kamara, Thomas, Breeze. I spent up on them, and the three of them, won me won me money. That's where it's at. The next two down that I do like, you got Julio and DeAndre Hopkins. Julio in that shootout with Cincinnati, DeAndre Hopkins against that Indy defense, and then even Beckham down, which I'm not going to play Beckham, but these three, so you got all three of them at 8,600, but then you got the second wide receivers on each team. Ridley, 6,300, who just showed up, put up numbers. You got Fuller at 7,600, who has been outperforming Hopkins, and then you have Shepard on the Giants at 6,200. Now, Julio, I would hands down rather have than Ridley. Ridley blew up. He's going to be owned by everyone. So you won't really get an advantage. I mean, I guess you'll keep yourself in it if he does blow up. But, especially in tournament, I wouldn't play Ridley. I'd want to play Julio. I also think the Saints do a good job at shutting down the top wide receiver. And that's why Ridley, I forget their guy's name, but they moved him over. He was covering Julio, shut Julio down. They moved him over to Ridley, and then Julio got a catch at the end. So, the Saints have the ability to shut down one receiver or, hamper him. So that's why Beckham I'm not taking. But Shepard is at number 2 last week. We saw Ridley blow up because the number 2 wide receiver on a team playing the Saints is wide open. So Shepard is my play of the week. I'm going to want him tournaments, 50-50s, whatever it is. Like, his floor is safe in what looks to be a shootout. And, his ceiling is Calvin Ridley last week. So we'll see how it goes, but that's where I'm playing. Fuller, I'll play Fuller over Hopkins, probably for the same price. Fuller has just been performing, and they can't seem to get Hopkins the ball. Julio is, if you're going to pay up, I'm paying up for Julio this week. I think that shootout and, 400 less than Michael Thomas, so Julio's got to get a touchdown eventually. Moving down, if you're playing on the Thursday night game, you got Emmanuel Sanders is a must play, I think, in the shootout with Kansas City. Then down a couple hundred lower, 6,500, you have Demaryius Thomas. If you need to save that 200, if you really need 200, I wouldn't mind making that switch. But Sanders is the clear top guy out of the two of them for me. But, there's points to go around in that game. So then, this is where, right under them, you got Calvin Ridley. It's 6,300. Already talked about him. Shepard at 6,200 versus Saints. Put him in everything. If you're playing on Thursday again, you got John Brown at Pittsburgh at 6,200. He's been doing his thing. Going down. If AJ Green is out, then Tyler Boyd has to be in at 5,800. Playing in the Dome, there's going to be points to go around. If AJ Green is there, I don't know. It's going to split the catches up, split the receptions up. But if AJ Green is out, Tyler Boyd is going to eat. So you got to give it to him. Then going down to 5,400, my second play of the week is Corey Davis. Corey Davis has not been getting the fantasy points that we want, but he's been playing well. He just hasn't had the quarterback throw, hasn't had the offense to get it to him. Marcus Mariota should be coming back. I mean, he played at the end of the game there. Should be back in. That's a good sign. He just played Jacksonville. So people, he's been dropping, but he's getting the targets. He got 13 week 1, 7, only got 3 last week. Yeah, they've been going down, but he's also played Miami, then Houston, then Jacksonville. Like, just tougher defenses each time, and Jacksonville is maybe the toughest. So, just throw out last week. He'll be good, and at that price, if he only gets you 9 points, so be it. Even 8, like at that price, that's fine. 8, 9 points is fine, but at that price, he's the only player in that range that can get you 30 points. I mean, he's probably not expecting that, but he is playing Philly. There could be some points to go around. Philly has been in shootouts. So now, moving on to tight end. Obviously, if you want to paying up for Gronk makes sense any week with this tight end field. Tight ends have just been bad. So paying up for one of the top ones, definitely makes sense. Paying up if you can get 20 points out of your tight end, you can't beat that. If you're playing on Thursday, Travis Kelce against Denver is a great choice. Moving down, we got Ebron, who had, where are we at? 50, I think he had 11 targets. Let me just double check this. 11 targets, only 5 receptions and 33 yards, but, those targets at that price at 5,500. This is only if Doyle is still out, but if he is, a lot of people are going to be off Ebron because he didn't get him the points last week, and everybody was on him. So this could be the week to capitalize against Houston. If you're playing Thursday again, Vance McDougal just had a good game, 4,600. At that price, it's a 50-50 shot, which tight end blows up. I mean, I'd say 60-40 with Vance McDougal having the edge, but for that price, if he doesn't get much, okay, whatever. Your tight ends don't usually get much, but if he does, you just gave yourself an advantage. But my play of the week at tight end, guy I'm putting in most of my lineups in the shootout in Atlanta again, Tyler Eifert. He finally came on last week. 8 targets, 6 receptions, 74 yards. If Green misses, he's in line for some major usage. If Green plays, I'm still playing him in the shootout. At that price, if he gets 3 receptions for 30 yards, 4 receptions for 30 yards, he pays off at basically minimum price. He's 6,400. Minimum price for a player for a tight end is 4,000. So you're not, again, like with Corey Davis, you're not paying anything for him, and he has a chance to blow up. So that's where I want to beat on it, especially with tight ends being so volatile in this. Now, if we're going defenses real quick, you got the Chargers at 4,400 versus 49ers. Garoppolo is out, so there are going to be picks. It's going to be an ugly game for the 49ers, so you can get them, get the Chargers, and take advantage of that. Then you got Cleveland versus Oakland, 3,500. I really like that play. But the play I'm going with is Tampa at Chicago. Chicago's offense just looks bad. Tampa's defense has looked better than you would think. Yet, like last game against Pittsburgh, their Fitzpatrick didn't put him in a good place, but they still made out, like, yeah, they've been in some shootouts, but I watched that game and I was surprised at how good I thought they looked. They were quick on the ball. I just think that this is their first game where they're not playing a high-powered offense. Look, they had Saints, Philly, Pittsburgh. Not the easiest start to schedule. And it's the opposite on their offensive side. Like, they're playing their first tough defense. So I think this will be an interesting game to see where Tampa Bay really is versus how they look. Beyond that, I really like the Seattle-Arizona game. Either side of that, 4,400 for Seattle, 4,000 for Arizona. Jacksonville, New York Jets, 5,200 for Jacksonville, 4,000 for the Jets. Those are going to be low-scoring games, so if you can get a piece of it, it's not a bad way to go. Yeah, so, and real quick, I'm just going to run through a lineup, my early lineup, my favorite one I've made, give y'all some chance to follow my lead if you want. This is for 50-50. Got Matt Ryan at quarterback, Melvin Gordon and Alvin Kamara at running back, Sterling Shepard, Tyler Boyd, Will Fuller at wide receiver, Tyler Eifert at tight end, Gio Bernard in the flex, and Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense. Alright, y'all. Good luck this week. I might come out with a video later, another video when it's closer to time, see where injuries stand. I'm out.